that sound, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that sound? 3 balls. This is an actual bingo ball machine.
Because this is Future Balls, and we are picking out random topics about the future and combining them into awesomeness.
You'll hear ideas about the future you've never heard before because we have to combine 3 ideas into one. So, first up, we have N36, and this will happen better in the future.
N36. Oh, so now I'm working it out on our thing here. 36 is mass surveillance.
Okay. Mass surveillance.
Now that's going to be interesting.
We have a ball with no number. Oh, hang on, sorry.
It was hidden behind the thumb.
Fuck. I'm too drunk for this. B7.
B7. You've got to be kidding me. Dildonics.
Oh, no. No. I was hoping we didn't get that one.
Literally. Amazing.
And I-28.
28. Human augmentation. Wow, okay, we are going to get into some interesting topics here. So this was totally random. We were talking about this before, saying, "Oh my god, I hope Dildonics does not pop up."
Yeah, because I didn't want to have to talk about Dildonics tonight. That's pretty deep.
It is pretty deep. Well, do you want to explain what Dildonics is?
Dildonics is essentially like the ultimate merger of techno raves. No, technology and dildos, sex toys. Essentially sex toys, but with like technology. So you could have things like dildos which are controlled by AI. There are, and not just dildos, like men's toys. There is actually I'm pretty certain I've seen, haven't used, I've seen.
Just seen. Sure, we'll go with that.
A friend of a friend told me about this thing. There is a machine that simulates a blowjob that's controlled by AI.
Whoa.
Whatever that means.
Okay, so you could put a few sensors on your body too, and like it knows what you like, what you don't like, if your breathing increases, if you're perspiring more.
I don't think it goes that far. It's pre-programmed, but yeah, you could have a system where it's...
So deep learning with Dildonics. I like that.
I mean, that's already there.
I mean, that's what it should be, right? Like they say the porn industry is actually where you get a lot of innovation for the future, so... Deep learning.
That's where all the money flows.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're just horny monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
Monkeys with space stations.
Yeah, everyone wants to fuck, so fuck it, we'll do that. Talk about a drive. I can't believe we got these 3. So what have we got? Human augmentation, Dildonics, and mass surveillance. This is brilliant.
They kind of like merged together by themselves.
Really
we're done here. We're already done. Do we even need to talk about this? It's pretty obvious. Like they all combine together in pretty obvious ways, yeah?
I think so, but I think we should talk through it because I'm sure there'll be some things that we haven't actually thought of before. So the mass surveilling with Dildonics. I mean, the first thing, they must be getting all of your data. As soon as you buy any remote control dildo or sex toy, exactly. They already have all of your data.
Oh, we know when you're having sex.
Yeah. So that could be actually quite useful, I'm sure, to people.
The Chinese Communist Party, they know when everyone in the world is having sex at any given moment.
Not for any real purpose. They just want to know that.
Well, it's the best time to attack.
Ah, right. Is it just Winnie the Pooh is just really fucking horny? So he just wants to come
honey.
And we're already banned. Second episode. Oh dear. Okay. No, I do want to think about this though, because as we get into the future, there is going to be more and more surveillance everywhere. There are already microphones all throughout the entire house. There's surveilling everywhere. Like you've got to put cameras everywhere. Just everything's going to be recorded. Let's just say that's going to be a thing. Yeah. So when you get into more Dildonics, as that goes more and more into the future, you're going to have more and more sex toys doing all of their things. Everybody's friggin' kinks and all of that are all going to be out there on display. Do you think that's going to come back to I don't know, what does that mean for society at that point when it's all just there?
Well, I guess in the interim, like in the lead up to the point where everyone's sex lives are just completely public and transparent, like obviously that's going to cause a whole lot of turmoil in the lead up to that, because like, you know, let's say Taylor Swift's techno dildonic device suddenly gets hacked, and now everyone knows exactly when Taylor Swift gets off, how long it takes, the orgasm sound she makes. Her
crap.
Faces.
Yeah, what she actually likes. And like, I mean, their iCloud was hacked, and you think that was more secure than some random fucking dildo tech company. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, because that would be a market for that. Even like say OnlyFans and stuff there that like imagine if in an OnlyFans thing you buy their personalized dildo, and you all just fuck together at the same time. So it's kind of like a giant orgy. All these dudes jacking it as this girl gets off at the same time.
This is why I didn't want to do this topic.
This is amazing.
I knew it would go here. Something like this.
This is great. And we haven't even added in the next ball yet, which is human augmentation. I can't believe this. This is incredible. So, obvious human augmentation here.
Oh, well, I mean, it's going to get to the point where you just like, you can snap your fingers and you can just have instant orgasms. Like you have implantable devices that can just
Jesus Christ, yeah,
give you instantaneous orgasms anywhere in your entire body.
Do you think that'd be more addictive than heroin, or is there going to be a backlash against? Because there's all like in the cyberpunk future ideas and stuff that people just hook themselves up to their brain and they just sit there in the corner. It's the new drugs, right? And
yeah,
like a Shadowrun, that's a whole big thing. The whole BTLs.
We think of like sex ultimately, it's just you're just chasing pleasure.
Yeah. You're just throwing some chemicals.
There's the whole there's the whole lead up and all the kind of arousal around all of it, but ultimately it's just like chasing pleasure. So it's like, well, ultimately you can just think of like Neuralink. Neuralink would just give you instantaneous orgasms, and you could have like telepathic orgasms and group orgies of like you were saying, like an orgy of like a billion people just going at it at the same time in a simulated universe. All synchronized.
They all get off together with that. Well, especially with human augmentation, let's just say you remove your junk, right? And you can decide, cool, am I going to have like a vagina right now? Am I going to have a dick? Like you just change to be whatever you want. But if you combine that with dildonics and you can decide how the pleasure gets felt or whatever, say an OnlyFans person actually is there. They say, cool, everyone attach your dick right now. And then it's like they all feel the same sensations as fucking that girl on OnlyFans at the same time with their human augmentation. So it is just kind of like a collective fucking of 100,000 people all fucking this one girl at once.
It's the ultimate simping.
It totally is.
Belle Delphine would definitely like, this is her next.
This would be amazing. I mean, it's not hurting anyone. It's just weird as fuck. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Also, choosing your genitalia, that'd be something with human augmentation. That must be one of the first things that would happen, especially like all of the trans stuff and all of that. Being able to just hot swap your dick.
Hot swap.
That'd be pretty cool.
Modularization.
Yeah.
Decentralized genitals.
Well, like, how they sell dragon dildos and all of that. Yeah. You attach a dragon cock to yourself.
I like the idea of like a Medusa cock or like an octopus cock. Yeah.
And so 8 at once or something, and then you've got why did I go? Yeah, octopus 8 there, and then so you've got 8 girls. That'd be some interesting porn up there.
Yeah. Pretty insane. Yeah.
So going back to the mass surveillance there, do you think if all of this is recorded and shared, because that will happen with all of these different kinks, do you think that'll ever be totally okay for people to share it everywhere? Like with all of this crazy shit happening, say like you're wearing, like, you're hot swapping your junk, you're fucking 8 people at once, it's measuring everything with dildonics, it's all automated. Like, will that, because it will be surveilled, will that be open to people? Do you think it's going to be hidden? Do you think that's going to lead to a backlash against surveillance maybe?
I don't know. Like, you and I have very interesting, different thoughts. Not different between us, but like different to the rest of the population around privacy.
Yeah.
Like, I think we both value our privacy today in this present. But like ultimately, like the privacy is just the fact that like people keep things secret.
Yeah.
So like if everyone shared everything, then there is no such thing as privacy. There's no concerns about it. I think most people like obviously most people have an issue about privacy because they think it is a taboo and therefore it can be used as blackmail. But like if everyone's doing it, like let's say everyone in the future, wherever that is just completely sharing their entire sex lives. They're streaming out when they're taking a dump. They're streaming themselves, like picking their nose, like all the embarrassing things we think of today, and it's just like out there. Then I guess in that case, people wouldn't really care. But I guess at the same time, like people are still always going to have secrets. Like being an adult is having secrets, and so I think maybe there's still going to be weird edge cases where people are like, I don't want to share that, and so now you've got like an underground thing where you don't want to share it, and it becomes a thing.
I know. As soon as you don't share one thing, other stuff starts getting not shared as well.
Yeah.
As soon as it's like it's either total openness for everything, or not because you start adding bits into it.
Yeah, but sex is one of those weird ones though, because like it changes. It's very much culturally driven. Like, I mean, the fact that like all these young women now are like making fuck tons of money off OnlyFans.
Yeah,
like that's
great.
That's cool and also weird and also empowering in some sense. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like part of my conservative side is like, well, it's just women prostituting themselves on the internet in different ways.
Yeah, kind of.
Probably not a great thing.
Yeah, but why? It's like, I think it's all these weird hang-ups like, maybe the societies we were raised in. And it was a good meme, actually, I saw on Reddit today saying, why is it okay for someone to go work in a coal mine for 10 hours, destroying their lungs and back? But no, when a girl takes off her clothes on the internet, that's selling your body.
Yeah, I saw that one. Like,
yeah, I thought that was a really clever thing, actually.
Yeah, this is true.
Just because we were raised in a Christian society and they're also fucking prudish.
We're such good Christian boys.
Yeah, but we can't escape our society. Even though we're not Christian, you can't escape the morals and stuff you're at least initially raised with.
I think so, but also like how far does it go? Because I mean, you see it. So I've been scrolling TikTok lately, and like it's basically like young girls just over sexualizing themselves. Yeah, and you gotta wonder at what point, like, how far does it go?
Well, so yeah, I guess that's a big issue there when we start talking about privacy and stuff. Like you're getting into all of the child porn and all of that, which is that's super not cool. Yeah, I don't know. So that's just this is where it gets really fucking icky.
Tele-dildonics and child porn. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, nah. Well, I'm very glad looking at all the potential balls. Yeah, that is definitely not there, and let's just not add that.
Well, where else could like the ultimate end game of tele-dildonics? So I know a bunch of people who've tried to do things like some weird Facebook friends who like they've done stuff like they've added like a motor to their finger so it like vibrates insanely fast, like ridiculously fast.
Okay, that's clever.
There's other guys who are trying to do transhumanists, like what do they call themselves? Grinders, like biohackers.
Yeah.
In modding themselves. And there's I'm pretty certain there's at least one guy out there who is trying to put a embedded vibrator into his dick. Yeah, like
that's great.
So it's stuff like that. Like, imagine, kind of like augmenting your sexual genitalia to maximize pleasure.
Maximize fun. Like, what is the end game of that? Like, where would it end up going? If like,
I just kind of had a thought then. It's like, well, at some point, like, if the goal is pleasure, then it doesn't really need to be a hardware mod because ultimately it all comes from the brain. So once you do have, again, like Neuralink brain-computer interfaces, like that's where the pleasure comes from. So you could just like simulate it in the brain, and then you don't need all these other like human augmentation mods. It's essentially just like simulate pleasure in the brain.
You have to wonder about that though. Like imagining like, people with all their different kinks or whatever fucking porn they look at or all of that stuff. You just think if it is just about the pleasure, it's just like, why don't people just fucking jack off as quick as possible without looking at anything? Like, do they want different things? Like, if you do have that button in your brain that you can press it and you just get flushed with it, I'm not sure if society would actually end up going that way because for some weird fucking reason, our brain is wired to go down. Like, I don't know. They're wired to seek out different weird things and stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's evolutionary. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why would that would actually occur.
It is weird too,
isn't it?
Because like obviously the whole build up to sex, like the whole the tension and
exactly,
and the foreplay and all that stuff. That's all kind of.
That could be evolutionary,
and the game and all that. Yeah. It's a big build up. Whereas if you just like jack off in 2 seconds, it's like, okay, cool, I got the pleasure here. But,
cool.
But I feel like I'm missing something. So.
Yeah. Oh no, that could be a similar thing there, and like it does. I mean, just thinking of human augmentation and dildonics, the amount of kinks that allows is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, my God. Like, the thought of... I'm just thinking of just all of the trans stuff right there. Just being able to just change to do whatever. Like, the whole taboo about, like, gender or anything like that. It's just like, oh, cool, I'm wearing a dick today or something. Like, if that's actually removed and changed, or boobs. Like, cool, I'm just going to have some boobs and that'd be pretty cool. You look down, instant cleavage. I don't know. It's going to change a lot of stuff once that's actually possible. And I didn't consider it too much, but human augmentation is probably going to be really what I said before, that it's going to be some of the first things that gets augmented. It's all the sex stuff.
Yeah, well, and again, definitely with the trans people, like, because they're trying to transition, and it's basically the only thing you can do right now is hormone therapy. Yeah, I think. But like ultimately, like you you're still left with, at the end of the day, you're still left with like male and female gametes. So
Yeah.
there is still, as much as they don't like to admit it, there is still like a sex binary at the bottom of this. Like,
All right.
you are born either with male and female like gametes for sexual reproduction.
I haven't looked into it.
And then it's, about changing things on top of that.
Because they could be actually the first group that really embraces augmentation, Like, what other group
it's a huge
need
driving
it?
force.
Yeah, what other group, like, has that, big driving force, that whole big need to be augmented? Like, I think it'd be really fucking cool, but I don't have that underlying drive, that need right now to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'm there for the cool factor, but if they have all the rest...
You're happy in your dad bod.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's pretty good. Oh, man. And yeah, the surveillance with that, like, just... I don't know where that's going to go. As I've gotten older, I really think the privacy, like the whole idea of it all being totally open, I feel like it's a bit utopian that it's not actually going to go that way. And I feel like this could be a thing that really does kick the backlash. So you don't want people to know, like, even though technically companies could like record it and understand it, especially with all the dildonics, because like any augmentation you add on, thinking about it now, of course it'll be tied to some server somewhere where it calls home and tells you exactly how it's doing. Even medically, it would probably be irresponsible not to do that, to actually know if it's not actually safe for the whole time, or if, oh shit, it's leaking, this is going to poison and kill you.
Yeah.
Well, battery's leaking, I'm thinking, not like the not the sex organ leaking.
Oh god, it's leaking green goo again.
Oh man.
Well, imagine something like China's social credit system tied to dildonics. It's like you either get rewarded or punished based on your activities. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Could you actually? For the whole point of sex, we didn't actually even cover that once. Is like to actually procreate and create kids. There.
What?
If you are just. Yeah. Sorry to break it to you.
No one told me this.
I've been doing it wrong. But doing that with human augmentation, that is actually a really scary thought. You remove your balls or you remove your ovaries, and it's like, oh shit, they're just sitting outside of you now, and are you actually, if there's a mistake, you've given up your ability to have kids and stuff.
The first thing that came to my mind right then was this. I'm imagining like a cockfight, but it's like
what? It's a literal cockfight.
Literal cockfight. You detach your dick, and then you just put them in a ring, and you put bets on, and the cocks fight. Or even like procreating outside of your actual body, like like your genitals accidentally create children for you without you even knowing, because you lost them one day and they just went off and just like were just being used by someone, and you're like, oh god.
I like that. That is hilarious. Man, I feel like there's more to discuss with this. This is I don't know.
It's a deep topic.
It truly is. That was fun. It was something I thought had some pretty obvious ideas there, but some different stuff.
Yeah, there was a good matching of those three as well.
I still can't believe that actually happened.
Oh well, so tune in next week for
and
more topics about...
Yeah, more random things. And tell us how you would combine these ideas. We want to hear your ideas. Like, exactly. We're not experts in this topic. I've never used a remote-controlled dildo or any dildonics connected to the internet. Maybe I should become an expert.
So send nudes to... What's our
OnlyFans address again?
I
forgot about that.
Tristan Grace. Tristan Bruce.
Oh, God. It probably is one.
OnlyFans/Future Balls.
It already is built. The name works.
Right now, we're running a special. We're putting out a naked calendar. Christmas calendar. It's great.
Yeah, it'll work well.
Yeah.
Put your orders in. Oh, well, I'm Tristan Grace.
I'm Nathan Waters.
We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
See ya.